everyone, welcome to Ticket Stubs and Popcorn.
Hey everyone,
I'm Peter.
he's Peter, and I'm Frank.
And he's Frank. In today's actor...
2 hours of rehearsals for that.
I know it.
Ah,
Today's actor is Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, she's great. Hey, you know what? Actually, you know what she brings to mind? A question.
Okay.
So, of course, Melissa McCarthy, she did a bunch of TV, she did a bunch of movies and stuff. Who
Yes.
are there actors
No.
out there that you think, like who made that, who've made that transition, TV to movies, movies to TV? They go back and forth and stuff. Is there an actor you think is better in one than the other? That kind of thing. Again, going from, some would think that the evolution of going from like a TV show to a movie is like a step up, but there's so much great TV
now it's all TV.
you've got,
so
it's all
going,
mooshed together.
It is.
So think about that. I'm going to start talking about Melissa McCarthy.
You start,
I'll start doing that
Start
when you
off.
ponder that. So Melissa McCarthy first came to my attention in a movie that I found absolutely hilarious, Bridesmaids.
Okay.
I love that movie.
You didn't know of her before.
I'm sure.
That's okay.
But
I'm
like,
just
I
curious.
didn't realize like how funny she was.
Okay.
Before. In that movie, you've got people in that movie who are like,
it's a big ensemble.
it's like, oh, I didn't realize that. You're so funny. Like Rose Byrne is in that, and she's hilarious. And of course, you got Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph and John Hamm, who is so funny. But anyway, this is about Melissa McCarthy. I just think she's great in that movie. She's really, really funny. She's a character that you think is just I think that because of, unfortunately, because of her size, she was bigger for a while, that like the comedy sort of becomes something around that.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I know.
So that when you see her like meet a dude in a movie or something like that, and she's all funny and flirty and sexy and stuff like that, that becomes, again, unfortunately, part of the joke.
Yeah.
But she is ridiculously funny, and I like her sort of no nonsense approach in that movie. And she's fantastic. She's very, very funny, and she brings that. This is my super smooth segue into my next favorite Melissa McCarthy movie, which is The Heat.
Okay.
Because she goes up against another fantastic powerhouse woman actor, comedian with Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock, who has done a lot of funny stuff and a lot of serious stuff.
Oh yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's like, we can't get Julia Roberts. Let's see if Sandy Bullock's around. So unfortunately, they sort of came up together at the same time. So, but I love The Heat because she's foul-mouthed, and for some reason, for so long, women didn't get to be really like funny and foul-mouthed in a movie, and Melissa McCarthy makes up for a whole Hollywood's history's worth of foul-mouthed, funny women cop characters. She's so great. Plus, there's a scene in that movie that takes place in a Denny's where I used to go a lot. So it's great to go, I've been in that booth that they're in. So anyway, there's that. So she's really, really, really funny. And I get super frustrated with people who go, I don't like female comedians. I don't think women are funny, because that's just stupid. Plenty of funny women out there. They just haven't really been given the right vehicles to be funny. And there's more and more, of that is, has changed over probably the last decade or so, which is awesome, and it's getting even better. I thought the Ghostbusters movie was, flawed, but still some funny performances in there, but now the performance I really, really want to talk about for Melissa McCarthy, because she's definitely funny. She's a reliable go-to for funny person. So when I saw that she was going to take a more dramatic turn in Can You Ever Forgive Me?
No, I can't.
I know, I get a lot of that.
Okay, now what movie are we talking
I was very, very surprised. There were bits and pieces of the movie Tammy, where it Tammy was. Did you ever see Tammy?
Mm,
It had moments where it was a little bit more serious to give
yeah.
this character a little bit more sympathy,
Right.
but it didn't work.
It didn't
Like
work.
it didn't work for that movie. That movie
Right.
was supposed to be a comedy, and it's just like, oh, wait a minute, let's make this character a person. It's just like, well, you're either
It's
doing
too late now.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
You're either doing a high concept, con man comedy,
Right.
or you're doing something where oh, I see, she's a con artist, and now I feel bad for her. I can understand why she's doing this, as opposed to she's a con artist, and this is a funny movie about Jason Bateman getting conned.
Right.
Let's see him be a victim to her hilarious con artist. But it didn't start to be that. But you did get an opportunity to see Melissa McCarthy kind of, we're going to take it down. And she got to be a little bit more serious. And in Can You Ever Forgive Me, it's all, I mean, that's a drama.
Oh, yeah.
I would say.
Oh,
and it's, so she plays a character who is, she's forging famous letters and selling them and making money. And her writing style is such that she can see how a famous person would write a letter and try to replicate that kind of style. And she was selling these supposedly historical documents or historical letters to collectors and bookstores and all of that. And she gets caught. And Richard E. Grant is in that. I was really hoping he'd get an Oscar for that, because I thought he's one of my favorites. So yeah, she's really great in that. It's really nice to see her take a dramatic turn, and it's you buy it, you get it. Sometimes you get comedians who are in a serious role. It's just like, oh yeah, I don't buy it. But in that, I think that she's fantastic. She does an amazing job. Definitely. She gets really good stuff to work with. And you kind of, she's sitting there with a drink in her hand, and she's just like, I'm totally screwed. And you're just like, yeah, you're totally screwed. There's absolutely nothing funny about this. And when she says something funny or lighter, that's not a comic moment.
No, it's pathos. It's like, oh
it's just like, it's you can't even call it sarcasm. It's just this resigned sort of like, this sucks. So like, poor thing. So fantastic movie. And so with Melissa McCarthy, I look forward to seeing more. I hope she does more dramatic stuff.
I hope so too.
So sometimes you'll see comic actors do some really great dramatic stuff, but then they'll fall back to the comedy slapsticky stuff.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler syndrome.
No,
we're gonna make it a syndrome. Adam Sandler syndrome.
No, I that one there, Can You Ever Forgive Me, is my favorite.
Okay, so let's segue to your.
That one definitely. That was my first pick, and it is my favorite performance that she has. Can You Ever Forgive Me? Richard E. Grant is in there, great support in that one. Richard, the one thing I can say about Richard E. Grant, it's going to sound like a backhanded compliment, but it is not. The greatest living actor to ever come out of Swaziland, Richard E. Grant, by far.
Yeah. So when we do a show, top 3
Swaziland entertainment. Yes, you got it.
It's going to be all about LA story.
No, I love Richard E. Grant, but Melissa McCarthy. This one it's my favorite performance, and it is drama, and she more than holds up her end.
Oh my God! She
good.
Carries that movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she's a writer who just her own style of writing and taste, it just isn't in vogue. I guess it's not selling, so they're not publishing her stuff.
Yeah.
So to make ends meet, she's found this other little side job.
Yeah.
Which even though it's illegal, it sounds like, oh, well, that's an interesting way out. But then it gets a little more.
But what's interesting is that she could have taken that skill and done and made something legitimate out of it. Like, okay, hey, I mean, there's so much like fan fiction stuff out there that she could have said, hey, here's this series of letters, from F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Right.
And let's continue that conversation.
Or let's pretend that he's writing to another person, another famous person, and so you get both letters in exchange or something different styles.
Write a fiction using that. So she could have done, but she just Life of Crime.
Right, you got it. No, I love that one. I really love that one.
Good.
My first exposure to Melissa McCarthy was a TV show called Mike and Molly.
Ah, yeah.
Now, a little earlier, I know my wife and daughter would watch Gilmore Girls, and I know she was on that.
She was on that here.
But I never watched it, so I didn't. So I enjoyed Mike and Molly, and I thought she was very funny, warm, had a good heart.
I could never get into that show.
But I just liked it. Some of this, I'll be honest, I found some of the supporting cast more distracting than the Mike and Molly character.
Okay.
I liked that couple. I liked each one individually, But so that was my first exposure to her. So when I started to see her in movies, I was like, just bothered and upset that they would just start, just stereotyping this. Oh, we got the chubby girl. Let's just do, and it's like, it's this laugh at me kind of humor they would stick her in.
Right.
And it's like, and I'm not comparing them as actors, but I'm comparing them as what I think Hollywood would do is like just a knee-jerk reaction.
Right.
And you could see it with some like John Candy roles. You could see it with some Chris Farley, although Chris Farley's not on the same level as far as I'm concerned. And they were doing it with Melissa McCarthy, and it would just infuriate me. Oh, we have somebody with a weight problem. Let's just make some silly things, and we can have fun at her expense or just laugh at her. And that just bugged the crap out of me.
Because she's funnier than
she is much more capable.
Yeah.
And we finally saw it when they gave her a nice juicy role that was drama.
Yeah.
And so, love that movie. My second pick or another pick will be, there is a movie that I did not see until later. So I had already had the experience of, we'll say, Mike and Molly or the other ones, but also when she did Can You Ever Forgive Me? So I saw it after those. There's a movie called Pretty Ugly People.
Huh.
And she actually did it before Mike and Molly, so I didn't know this. But it's a movie, and it's got Missy Pyle.
Okay.
So the story's around her, and it starts off, we don't see it because the opening credits are like animated, so we don't see it, but we have to take her word for it that Missy Pyle was the chubby girl in college. And so she's come to this milestone in her life where she's reached out to the 4 or 5 friends from college that they were together, but she was the only chubby one in the group, and the others were all beautiful and perfect people. And she wants to share a moment with them. We'll just say that. And so the other ones were all these pretty beautiful people, and they wouldn't mind seeing each other again, but they just don't want to bother going through the effort, or they got other stuff going on in their life. Well, one of them is Melissa McCarthy, who, as part of the storyline, was thin and hot and vivacious
Yeah.
and bubbly and sexy in college, but now she's put on weight. And so, you know, that bothers her because the big surprise is that the Missy Kyle character has lost all this weight.
Hilarity.
So she wants to share this experience
Yeah.
with all her friends. But all these friends come to her now with just this baggage and bad attitude. And she's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? I was the one who was
Right.
the oddball. Now these people are all just got their own problems and they're not becoming very nice people. So in that one, it's still a comedy, but it's a little deeper. But it's not that other kind of comedy
Yeah.
that we've seen them kind of foist upon Melissa McCarthy. So it was a good one because you get this feeling like now the other girl is the skinny girl and now Melissa McCarthy is not the skinny girl. And Octavia Spencer is also in it. She's like the wife of one of the college friends. So the two of them are both a little full figured. So they're like, you know what I mean, skinny bitch. You know, even though this other girl was the fat girl her whole life,
Yeah.
and now she's finally lost the
That's
weight.
funny.
Yeah. So that one's a good one. A good. I like her performance.
Yeah.
The movie, honestly, yeah, not so great, but I like Melissa McCarthy's performance in that one. And so my third one, it's a comedy, but there's definitely some seriousness going on.
Okay.
And Saint Vincent is the movie.
Oh.
She plays Maggie, so she's the neighbor, and she's the mother of the boy, but she's the neighbor of the Bill Murray character. Who's good
I think I saw this.
Yeah. And I like her in it because once again, she can be funny without being that character that they stereotype.
I think I did see that movie.
Yeah, it's very it's not, you know, she's raised this sweet boy who just, you know, doesn't have many friends, and so the boy kind of glums. Well, they both out of necessity of babysitting kind of thing. He gloms on to the Bill Murray character Vincent, and and she's the hardworking mother. She's like I'm not gonna say radiologist, but she's working in a hospital situation. So her hours are changing all the time, or she has to work late until somebody can show up, that sort of thing. So doing the single mom thing, she needs somebody to watch out, but money's still at a premium. And so anyway, that gets the boy even closer to the Bill Murray character. But she's wonderful.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
She's wonderful in it, and when you see movies that she's in, and she's got a good role as opposed to a stereotypical schlock thing. She's great.
Yeah.
And I would love to see more of her do those sorts of comedies, or like in the other one, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Just two straight drama.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
That's good.
I
cool.
am
it's a good one.
Yeah. So those are my three.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. So let's recap. Well, so mine's Saint Vincent, and Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Yep.
And
it was one that you hadn't heard of. So Pretty Ugly People.
Yeah. So I'm not going to remember that.
Yeah.
So Pretty Ugly People. And you liked her Mike and Molly stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I like the I can't remember her name. The girl who played the sister was great. She's in another one now. It's about it's a family one.
Yeah.
Where she's, you know, the mom's in charge there. Right? Anyway, so your three Melissa McCarthy picks were we agree we overlapped on Can You Ever Forgive Me? You had Bridesmaid, and you had not Tammy, but you referenced that in. But
it's getting warm in here, huh?
Yes, Heat.
Yeah, the Heat.
The Heat. Yes.
Yeah, I really like him. It's
Oh
funny.
yeah.
All right,
I
cool.
agree.
So I asked you about
Oh
yeah,
man,
actors
question.
that, and I'm going to give you an example of kind of like what I mean because it's a weird sort of question.
No,
So,
but
actors who kind of did some TV,
yeah,
jumped into movies, or people who are in movies and like who do both, who have done both,
yeah.
but they're a little bit better
You see, yeah.
in
Or perhaps it's how they're written, like who
yeah,
writes
or just
for them, or
well, like so. Catherine Hagel, I think, is a great example. She was great on Grey's Anatomy for a
Mhm.
long time. Started doing movies
Yeah.
and had a little, had
Yeah.
a little bit of success, but then like, I think that she, just go back. Just like the TV is a little bit better thing. Movies didn't quite happen. I think that she burned a few bridges at Grey's Anatomy.
perhaps
That
so.
that sort of thing. So, and yeah, and like Jamie Foxx was on TV
Mhm.
for a while, but I mean,
Actually,
I think
he's comfortably back on TV
he's
now.
doing
It
a
seems
game
like
show now.
he's
or
doing a game
something.
show, but
That
he's
doesn't
also
really
doing.
count.
But he's doing another show.
Oh, he's on a sitcom. Of
He's
some
on a
sort,
sitcom
right?
and the other show
Yeah.
at the
So,
same time.
Yeah,
He just seems to be comfortable working. I think.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think
Like
that's more steady. You know
Katie
what I mean?
Holmes
Yeah,
was.
you're right.
She did a bunch of movies. Was like, I mean, she was big on TV for a
Yeah, the
while. Dawson's
that
Creek
sort of
thing.
thing.
So, yeah. So I just think that there are some where they're, I don't want to say suited better, but they just sort of seem to get better stuff. I still find it weird to see John Hamm in a movie. He just
I
seems
know what
out
you
of
mean.
place
Yeah,
in a movie, like when he's in The Town. It's kind of like,
yeah.
oh yeah, he's in The Town, but he's. But then again, I think he made such a strong impression as Don Draper.
That's it. Sometimes.
Yeah. So such a strong impression as Don Draper that even when I see him pop up like on 30 Rock or he popped up on Parks and Recreation, when he does something that's not Don Draper, something that's funnier, and he's a funny guy and he does comedy really, really
Yeah.
well. But I just think that I'm not suggesting he be typecast. It's just a
No,
Don
no.
Draper type. It's just still a little strange to see him show up in Bridesmaids.
Well,
It's just
there is something. Do
weird.
people is the audience accepting of this person? Going one way or the other, or switching around, or is it a case of like, are the writers so much better for him in a certain
But
situation?
you know what,
Sometimes,
though?
like, I
think,
can't tell.
But I think it gets to a point where you've got these like certain actors, and I think that everyone we've mentioned can probably do whatever they want. These people are getting scripts every day. Their agents are just like, hey, you know what? We've got this TV show. We've got this movie. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I would think
It's just
so.
kind of like, where does it?
Yeah. Well, like
it would be
Molly
really
McCarthy, who we just talked about. Like I said, I love
Melissa McCarthy, who
Melissa.
played Molly.
Yeah, Molly. Loved her on that one, but she's definitely can make the transition. And
Yeah.
I never watch her in a movie and go, oh, I only think of Molly on the thing, or oh, she should have stayed. I never think
But, like,
that. But there are other people that you do watch and you go, oh, maybe I don't know.
Well, someone like Kevin Spacey, who big movie guy, right? And then he did the Netflix show House of Cards. So makes that transition to TV, and then he got he had some problems, and he's not doing anything.
Yeah.
So you could see him in both, but someone who's just as much a movie star, and I'm not even going to talk about like Nicholson or Clint Eastwood or anybody like.
But we did Jeff Daniels.
But wouldn't it be weird?
He was great on. He was in a couple of TV series.
Yeah, he was on, but he was on HBO.
Yeah, well, yes, that's true.
So that's a little
do people
different.
associate that with movies and not TV?
I just think that it's
what I mean?
Well, nowadays between the streaming thing, it's so blurred right now.
Oh, it is. It's so blurred.
So, but it made sense to see him in a TV show, but it would be strange to see like Jim Carrey, who's got fantastic comedy chops.
Mm-hmm.
It would be strange to see him on a sitcom.
Even though he started
but that was a sketch
TV.
show.
It was a sketch show.
Yeah,
but still,
that's
I mean,
almost like
that's
someone
like where,
going from,
where you got to know.
But
him.
that's like an SNL.
Oh yeah,
It's like SNL
definitely.
or Second City or
Yeah.
someone like that moving to
Yeah.
TV. I mean, yeah, Eugene Levy who did Schitt's Creek, who's done a bunch of he's done movies, done TV,
Right,
I mean, and that.
But he
But
was an
that
all Second
going
City
back and forth.
television guy.
Yeah, but I don't really consider him a TV guy. I mean, sketch comedy
no, I know.
is.
But I'm just saying, that's where I first saw him.
Yeah.
And he's in movies.
But I
and
wouldn't
now he's
consider
back.
him being on a TV show. He's on a show
No,
that's on TV.
That's on TV. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but like a sketch show, that's different. Saturday Night Live is different
Oh,
than
yeah, no.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
So
Well, it makes you wonder.
Jerry
How about
Seinfeld in a
Seinfeld is
movie
the
would be weird.
I was thinking the same thing. He did the B movie, which was animated, so
Yeah.
you didn't even see him to go, "Oh, I'm thrown out of my element."
Right.
But yeah, you're right. If you saw him in a movie, not like a documentary or something,
but-
if you saw him in a movie, whether comedy or drama, that would be wrong here.
Yeah. They're just somewhere they just
you
seem
know
to.
who's Amy Poehler. She
Yeah.
she tried. There's some movies that she's in, and I'm not saying good or bad or indifferent. I'm saying she did that, but when she's got her TV shows and she's got that craft, which is kind of like a competition show.
Yeah, but
is
that's
that
not really.
show,
That's not
in
really.
addition to no, but though, with Parks and Recreation, it's like she's got more of a TV presence now.
Yeah, but you know what though? That craft show that doesn't count as a TV show.
No, but she still
you know
has
what I
this
mean?
presence on TV
But I
now.
but I
more
think
so than
that she
movies.
can. Yeah, but if you find out tomorrow that she's in a movie, be just
I
like,
agree.
yeah, that makes
But though
me-
it just doesn't seem like she's doing movies or getting offered. I don't
well,
know.
it's tough with the last couple of years or so.
Oh,
Who knows how
yeah.
much stuff got pushed around because of COVID.
True.
So, but I could see her in a movie as easily as TV because she's done it.
No, I know, but
Tina
it's
Fey's
been
the
a
same
while.
way. Steve
Tina Fey,
Carell, same thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
even though
yeah.
he's bigger and more well known probably for The Office, his movies.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
been in several.
Oh man.
It doesn't seem weird.
No. Yeah, for some reason it seems, I don't know. I'm not gonna say transition, but it just seems to be easier.
Yeah, but I'll
For
tell you,
us though, maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's easier for us to say, "Oh, that's fine, Obi."
but seeing
over there.
like Christina Applegate in a
Oh,
movie
yeah,
is
okay.
different than seeing her on TV. Anyway,
No,
Um,
yeah, well, the same thing then with Christina Applegate. Ed O'Neill was in some movies. He was in movies, but
Yeah.
it's tougher to take him now in a movie. You recognize him on TV. That's
yeah,
what
I think
his
that there are
venue
some
seems
who
to be.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but it wouldn't. So I wouldn't expect to see him like leading in a movie.
No,
But
not
if he
leading.
shows up, he's like, that other cop in a room full of cops, or that cop that they got to go see for that thing. He's just
Spanish
like,
prisoner.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's interesting though.
yeah, how your perceptions of
There
actors
is something about
are.
our perception
Yeah.
about what
So-
it is.
Anyway, who's next?
I don't know. Let's take a look-see.
What'd you pick this?
Ed O'Neill. I'm shooting for Ed O'Neill here. I know he's not in this list. All righty.
Ugh.
Oh,
I mean, yeah.
Stop it.
That's something great.
you got a bad attitude,
I
mister.
really do. My attitude is the worst. So, and my knees are pretty crappy too. So, anyway, so thanks everyone for watching or downloading the
Yeah.
podcast, and
We love your support.
thanks so much. Yeah, as you can check out, usually have a mug or something. So yeah, if you can support the show, there's a link at the end of the show and in the notes for the merch. You can get a mug or a t-shirt
Yeah.
or something like that. Help out the show. That'd be fantastic.
Check us out on
Um,
our podcast there.
Yep, and Instagram. Follow us on Instagram and on Facebook and all that stuff. And I'm going to stop talking now. So
Alrighty.
we'll get you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.